Now we are going to be discuss about the Hadoop ecosystem. What is Hadoop ecosystem? Is a framework that helps in solving big data problems. See, whatever the previous video I explained, that is MapReduce, how MapReduce working with the examples, and HDFS, Hadoop distributed file system with example. That is a core component. But we have ecosystem, that is Hadoop ecosystem. We have many more softwares, means many more tools between that. Among that, it's one-to-one component. So that is the one we'll call as a ecosystem. It is a framework that helps in solving big data problems. The core component of Hadoop ecosystem is a Hadoop distributed file system. As I said, that Hadoop distributed file system that has a capability to store a large stack of data sets. With the help of shell commands, Hadoop interactive with the HDFS. What is that? What is Hadoop ecosystem? As a provision to replicate the input data on other cluster nodes. That's why in the event of cluster node failure, data processing can still proceed by using data stored in another cluster node. These things are already I explained. So topology is nothing but arrangement of the network, affect the performance of Hadoop cluster when the size of Hadoop cluster is grown. Okay, so what is the main thing? How it is be working? This is the architecture of Hadoop ecosystem. So once if you understand this, so you will come to know that Hadoop ecosystem. Dear students, you can see here in this we have, this is the one architecture for the Hadoop ecosystem. You can see here HBase, NoSQL database, Hive Analytics, Pig scripting, okay, and we have scheduling also. So we have these all the things, and as well as if you say that what purpose map and reduce for processing purpose, and if you see that yarn means resource management, storage means HDFS. If you want to be injection means if you want to be insert, if you want to give that, we are using the flame, okay, and kapha. So what is this? These are the things. We have different part of that in Hadoop ecosystem. To coordinate all those things, we are using the zookeepers. Zookeeper. We are using, it is a coordination, we are using a zookeeper. So now this is the one very important. So now we will discuss in the next slide what it is each one. So the first one we'll use for the yarn. What is yarn? So we told that previously that lecture when was explaining to you the Hadoop core component. First one I told you that MapReduce. The second one is HDFS. The third one is yarn. Okay, what is the yarn? Yarn means yet another resource. Navigator manage resource in the cluster and manage the applications over the Hadoop. So what it is doing, what work yarn is doing, it allows data stored in HDFS to proceed and run by various data processing engines such as batch processing, stream processing, interactive processing, graph processing, and many more. This increase efficiency with the use of yarn. So this is one part that is also, so the all together, this is also one type of part in the Hadoop. Okay, so this one we will call as ecosystem. So the yarn is play a significant role in that, what all it is doing, such as batch processing, stream processing, interactive processing, graph processing, and many more. These are the things you can keep it in your mind, so that because of yarn your Hadoop processing system it will be increased. Next one will go for H-base. What do you mean by H-base? H-base is a column based, that is no SQL database. It run on top of HDFS and can handle any type of data. It is using no SQL. It is a column based. HBase is using the column base. It will handle the any type of data. It allows for real-time processing. It allows the real-time processing and random read-write operation to be performed in the data. So what it is, if you come across in the ecosystem HBase, HBase is nothing but the column based. No SQL database we are using as a no SQL database. And next we'll go for the pig. What do you mean by pig? What is a pig is doing? Pig was developed for analyzing large data set and over the difficulty to write, map and reduce function. The Apache pig is going to use to develop this analyzing the large data sets. If you get very large data sets to analyze, pig is going to be help. It consists of two components. One is pig Latin and second one is pig engine. What is the pig Latin is doing? The pig Latin is a scripting language is similar to SQL. It is like a similar to SQL. Pig engine is execution engine on which pig Latin runs. Internally, the code written in the pig is converted to the MapReduce function and make it very easy for programmers who are not proficient in the Java. Means if they are not good in the language, scripting language, they can use the pig. So we have here pig Latin and pig engine, and through that they can use. It is not that they don't, if the people, those who doesn't know for the scripting language, they can go for SQL also. So for that, in that one part, one component, that is a pig. Now we'll go for Hive. What is Hive? Hive is a distributed data warehouse system developed by the Facebook. Who developed Hive? Hive is developed by the Facebook. It allows for easy reading, writing and managing the file on HDFS. So it is when it is going to be used it like a data warehouse. So you know, I hope that students you know that about data warehouse. It allows for easy reading, writing and managing files on HDFS. It has its own querying language for the purpose known as high query language. We'll call HUL, that is high querying language, which is very similar to SQL. It is not that it means we know that SQL is a structure language. So even we are making as a structure type and we are taking the huge data. We are converting in the structure huge data. We are converting according to requirement. So the Hive is going to be help. This make is very easy for the programmer to write map reduce function using simple SQL query. Okay, fine. Next we'll go for Scoop. What is the Scoop? What Scoop is doing? It's lot of applications still store data in relational database. So still many applications, whatever the data we enter, it is go through the application, still store data in relational database. Thus makes them a very important source of data. Therefore, Scoop play an important part in bringing data from relational database into HDF. What does Scoop work? Scoop is collecting data according to the relational database and converting to the HDFS manner. Okay, the commands written in Scoop internally convert into MapReduce tasks that are executed over the HDFS. It works with almost all relational database like MySQL, Postgres, SQLite, etc. It can also be used to export data from HDFS to a relational database. Vice versa also we can use. Now in this Hadoop, overall Hadoop structures in that ecosystem, we have Scoop also. Next we'll go for the Flame. What do you mean by the Flame? It is open source and reliable and available service to use efficiently collect, aggregate and move large amount of data from multiple data resources into HDFS. It can collect data in real time as well in the batch mode. It has a flexible architecture and it is fault tolerant with a multiple recovery mechanism. So what work it is doing? It is doing that collecting efficiently, collect and aggregate and move to large amount of data from the multiple data resources. So this is the one it is doing. Okay. So next we'll go for Kafak. Kafak. What is a Kafak? What we are doing? So there are a lot of applications generating data in commands number of application consuming data. See, this Kafak is nothing but it is come as place generating producer and consumer. So what it is play the way a significant role it is, the Kava is distributed as it's a build partitioning, it is a partition and replications and fault tolerant. It can handle the streaming data and also business to analyze data in the real time. Dear students, so this is the one, it is very, very important. What's going to happen in this means it's connect them individually in the taught task, means it is going to be executing how generating means application data, that is we'll call as a producer, and application is consuming data we'll call as a consumer. To connect we need the Kafka. So these all almost for these are to help for HDFS according to that. Okay. Next UZI. UZI is a workflow scheduler system that allows user to link job written in various platforms like MapReduce, Hive, Pig, etc. Using UZI, you can schedule a job in advance and can create a pipeline of the individual job to execute sequentially or in parallel to achieve a bigger task. For example, you can use OC to perform ETL operation on data and then save the output in HDFS. So this is a workflow scheduler system that allow the user to link job. So we can give allow means it is a we can allow according to requirement. This one we can use. So we can use this UC. Okay. Next, who's keeper? Whose keepers is a coordinator synchronizing. So means we done many things. So now we discussed yawn, HBase, peak, yaw, scoop, flame and kafak and huzi. So these are the things, different parts. Then we discuss the um, map reducer and HDFS and everything. This is all has to be coordinated. We need to be synchronizing node can be challenging task. It is really syncing is very, therefore Keeper is a perfect tool for the problem. So when the Apache is created this, it is also open sources, distributed and centralized service for the maintaining configuration, information, naming and providing distribution synchronization and providing group service across the cluster. So when you see here, so you can see that you can see many HBase, Hive, Pig, Ooze, everything it is there, and you can see that Ooze Keeper, you can see here how to manipulate, how to sync one to one. So everything how to analyze and how to work together and simultaneously to work. So this is we will call Hadoop ecosystem. So now we will discuss about the last one is Spark. Spark is why we means we kept it as a Spark, Apache Spark. It is a Spark is an alternative framework to Hadoop build on scale, but the support variety application written in Java. The Spark is written in the Java and Python. Compared to MapReduce, it is provided in memories processing, which account for the faster processing. The Spark's also like a Hadoop, but it will be helping. It is written in the Java and Python. Okay, in addition to batch processing offered by Hadoop, it can also handle real-time processing. Okay, when you see that we have when the Spark, when you're speaking, Sparks has its own ecosystem, means it is own we having the own core API. Okay, Spark SQL plus data frames, streaming, mlib MLlib, machine learning, graphics, computations. Under the Spark core means we have R, SQL, Python, Scala and Java. So it is having its own ecosystem. I hope that what is ecosystem means you understand how it is be working. At last now I explained about the Hadoop ecosystem. Now what we are doing, so what we want to know, the stage of big data processing using Hadoop, how it is be executing. Just a small example, with so many components with the Hadoop ecosystem, it can be become pretty intimidating and difficult to understand what each component is doing. Therefore, it is easier to group some of the components together based on where they lie in the stage of the data processing. Yes, so when if you this only one Lance, this one diagram, if you remember, you could remember the Hadoop ecosystem, how it is be working, each one. So injection, storage, processing, analyzing. Under that, what all it is coming. Flame, kapha, scoop. So this is our injection, sir. Storage means HDFS, HBase. Processing, MapReduce and Spark. Analyzing, pick, Hive and Spark. So this is the one it is be working. So it is a, if this one diagram, if you remember students, so it will be easy for the ecosystem. I hope that you understood Hadoop ecosystem. Thank you.